Hey, Margie!
Are they here?
No, not yet. I was just wondering if there's any more coffee.
Sure.
Good, thank you.
So where could they be? They were supposed to be here hours ago.
I don't know. When they called on the cell phone, they just said they were stopping by the dealership to pick something up.
Did they say what they were getting?
No, they just said, see you soon.
Wow, now that's really something.
You keep your eyes to yourself.
What?
Oh, don't you what me?
Wow, that's a nice-looking motorhome. But I guess I better tell them that this place is reserved.
Why didn't you tell them the spot's reserved for John and Sue?
Because it is John and Sue.
Really?
Take a look.
Hey, there they are.
So this is why you're late. Nice coach.
Yeah, I kind of like it.
Sue, it's so beautiful.
Wait till you see the inside.
You're gonna give us the entire tour, but that can wait till after you set up camp. Can we help?
Sure. I tell you what, why don't you two stand over here? Sue, can you get the awning?
Sure, I got it.
Okay, let's see. We've got soda, Sunny D. I guess it's a little too early for a beer, but, well, when the game starts.
You dog! Look at the size of these doors. I have 10 compartments and I can never find anything, much less be able to store all of this stuff.
And this is only one of the reasons I love this coach.
Sue, I've got to go inside.
Okay, just let me extend the slide out. John, will you watch for me?
Sure. Just let me check the bedroom. I want to double check, make sure those cabinet doors are closed. Perfect. Man, I love this coach. It's cool. Everything's fine.
Okay. Well, Marge, come on in. What are you waiting for?
Oh my, I can't believe all this room. I mean, look at the ceiling. look at the slide out. How do they make this so big?
Funny you should ask. It really is an interesting
story. It all started when Johnny Crean, he's the president of Alfa. Anyway, when he decided to...
You mean John Crean, the founder of Fleetwood, is the president of Alfa?
No, I mean Johnny Crean. He's the son of John Crean. Anyway, when Johnny decided he wanted to get into the RV industry,
Well, technically, Alfa's already in the RV industry. My cousin has an Alfa fifth wheel and he loves it.
Okay, you're right, Fred. What I meant was, when Johnny decided he wanted to get into the motorhome business, he realized he had a chance to design a brand new motorhome from the ground up. No relying on ideas, technology, or equipment that's over 30 years old. He had a clean slate, and boy, did he take advantage of it.
Well, it's a great looking coach, all right, but come on, a motorhome is a motorhome is a motorhome. When you get right down to it, they're all pretty much the same.
Oh, I beg to differ with you, old chap. Hey, are you ready to be amazed?
Okay, sure, amaze me. Although I have to admit, this is a great start.
Yeah, but you ain't seen nothing yet. Come on, let me show you
I
around the
hope
front.
I see something better than that English accent you got.
Hey, hey, hey!
This is a really great refrigerator. And this was standard?
Standard.
And the entertainment center with the combo VHS and DVD player?
Standard. And they even gave us a DVD with basic operational instructions for the whole coach.
Wow, that's nice. Did they throw in some movies?
Well, no. But on the same disc, there is a video about some hoity-toity couple who are bragging about their new Sea to some goofballs camping next to them.
Now, who would do that?
Nobody I know.
Anyway, all of these options like the leather sofa, the computer table, and the satellite TV system, they threw these in at no extra charge?
Actually, there are no options or extra charges. What the SIA gives you are choices, things like floor plans and color combinations and the fabrics that you want. It isn't that one thing costs more than the other, it's that you get exactly what you want with no additional charges. Even the solid gold 5-year protection plan is included.
Even the extended service contract?
Even the extended service contract. And the deductible is only $100 per visit after the Alfa Limited 1-year warranty expires. And because the SIA is fully equipped and everything is factory installed, the extended service contract covers things like the satellite TV system and the patio fridge freezer combination.
Oh, I really like that patio fridge.
I know you do. We're going to get into it as soon as the game starts.
You know, you keep calling it a fridge freezer. Does it have a little freezer for the ice cubes?
No. The whole thing can be a freezer. You know, that way you could store frozen food in it, rather than ice-cold drinks right next to the TV.
No. you got me.
Yeah. Let's see, where was I?
Oh, I don't know. Gee. Oh.
Down here. We got electric dump valves. We got an integrated tank sprayer.
Ooh, you know what I like? This little shower head. And the places for the soap and the paper towels. Oh, that Johnny Crean was really thinking when he laid this part out.
Well, here, use the handle.
Yeah, nice handle.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't necessarily Johnny that designed this part.
I thought you said that Johnny started from the ground up.
Yes, but, you know, no one person can do everything. The way it worked is Johnny hand-selected the top 35 people from the fifth wheel division, had them train their replacements, and then begin work on the See Ya. That's why they can say that this coach is really the result of the best minds in the RV industry. Only the best of the best get to work at the See Ya plant.
So, Johnny didn't actually design this washing station?
No, but rumor has it that the fishing rod storage above the living room slide out, that was his idea.
Fishing rod storage?
Shh, be quiet. I don't want to give Sue any ideas.
Okay.
And with all this bonus storage up here, I can pretend I don't even know about the fishing rod storage above the slide out.
Fishing rod storage?
It's a guy thing.
This slide out is really impressive. I mean, it's so tall and it's really deep. But you were going to tell me how they made it so big.
Well, first of all, it really is big, well over 6 feet tall. John can stand up in it, and that's why it can be so deep, over 40 inches.
I don't understand. Is it deep because it's tall, or is it tall because it's so deep?
Let me explain. Most slide outs, yours for example, are only about 20 inches deep. This is because in a regular coach, the height of the slide out is limited to a little over 5 feet. So if the slide out was any deeper, the average person would hit their head when they stood up. So the See Ya slide out can be deeper for more interior room because the See Ya slide out can be taller because of the higher ceilings.
And I really love these ceilings. I can't believe how spacious this feels. Are you sure this coach is the same height as ours?
It's exactly the same height if you include the top mount AC unit on your coach. Our See Ya's AC heater unit is in the basement. By placing it there, they could raise the coach up to the average height of a standard coach's AC unit, and you get all this.
But does basement air conditioning work as well as roof mounts?
No, they work better.
Better? Are you sure?
Oh, absolutely. The Alfa engineers found that basement air, BTU for BTU, is 40% more efficient than rooftop mounted.
That seems a little hard to believe. I can't believe that one basement unit is more efficient than my 2 roof-mounted units.
Well, when you stop to think about it, it makes sense. Your 2 roof units are slaving away under the hot sun. The ducts are just inches away from the hottest part of your coach, the roof. And with 2 units using a single duct system, the blowers are actually working against each other. The See Ya's basement unit and the ductwork is insulated from the sun, and it utilizes a flow-through system, so the air is constantly circulating instead of trying to just blast through the ducts. Hey, and those basement doors you've been admiring, did you see how thick they are?
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
With the door expanded to 2 full inches, which is an Alfa exclusive, the insulating values go from R7 up to R11.
Whoa.
It's a full 40% more. 40% more insulation, 40% more cooling capacity.
Well, now that you've explained it, a 40% increase is still a little hard to believe.
Why?
Seems like it should be more.
Trust me, Fred, it's plenty.
Hey, let's check out the back, okay? Hey, how's she handle on the road?
Oh man, like a dream. We got a Cat 330 horsepower turbo diesel, a 6-speed Allison 3000 tranny, Freightliner XL raised rail chassis,
Knee-Way air ride system, and 2 75/80 Michelins, plus the vacuum-bonded basement floor contributes to the torsional rigidity which virtually eliminates bump steer. What?
Did you get some sort of engineering degree while I wasn't looking?
Well, you knew John and I were thinking about getting a new coach.
I knew you were thinking about starting to think about getting a new coach.
Okay. John was reading some articles about a new See Ya in motorhome and family motor coaching, and we found out that you could go over to the factory and take a tour and see how well they're built.
Ah, so that's where all that rigidimal torsionality lingo came from.
Oh, it's not just lingo, Fred. We learned a heck of a lot on that tour. The See Ya starts from the bare Freightliner XL raised rail chassis. Hey, did you know that Freightliner was a Mercedes company?
I didn't know that.
Well, it is. Anyway, from the Freightliner chassis, they weld on the steel frame subfloor, which also contains all the ductwork and the wiring. This frame on the chassis construction is one of the reasons the coach is so solid. Even you could jump up and down on it without a problem. Ah, come on, I was just kidding. Anyway, from there, the tongue and groove 3/4-inch plywood floor is both screwed and glued to the subfloor. And then the cabinets and interior walls are added.
And you really can't appreciate the quality of the woodworking if you don't see all the care they take installing it. Those guys are true craftsmen, and they really care.
And you can tell because this is wonderful.
I think it has something to do with Alfa controlling every step of the process. They make nearly every element that goes into the coach, from the walls to the trim.
Whatever it is, those guys are really proud of their work, and it shows in virtually every detail. You should see how the walls are connected to the frame. First they're screwed and glued to the frame, then they go in.
Fred, wait until you see the inside of the coach. It's beautiful.
And did Sue tell you what they paid for it?
Well, she told me what the list price was. You know how closed-mouthed she is about that sort of stuff. The list price seemed kind of high compared to our coach, but it sure is nicer.
It's not the list price that matters. It's what you pay after you add in all the options that counts. Now, the See Ya comes standard with all the options that most RVers get on their coaches anyway. Take ours, for example. Sure, our base price was 30 grand less than theirs, but after you add in all of our options, we actually paid $6,000 more than they did. Heck, our service contract alone cost us $7,500. Their solid gold 5-year protection plan comes with the coach, and it covers more than ours does.
But we bought our motorhome 2 years ago. We paid $6,000 more 2 years ago than they paid for their new See Ya today.
Yepper.
And we didn't get basement air, the huge slide outs, or those incredible ceilings.
What incredible ceilings.
You don't want to know.
No?
Fred,
Yeah.
could we leave a little early?
So we can stop by the RV dealership?
Just to look.
Couldn't hurt.
Okay, Sue. You're gonna have to be more careful. You know, you almost bumped your head on that ceiling.
Yeah.
Okay. I've heard enough about these ceilings. I gotta see this interior right now.
I'll come with you.
You know, Sue, Fred and I were thinking about leaving a little bit earlier than we planned.
Oh, well then I guess we'll see ya later.
Or sooner. Fred, the game's on.
Hey, Margie, did you see the fishing rod storage?
It's a guy thing.
So the dealership has a See Ya on the lot?
Yeah, I think so. Well, they did this morning when we were there.
Oh, good.
Wow! There she is again. What? It's no big thing. You just don't get to see something like that every day.
Hi, I'm Johnny Crane, founder and president of Alfa Leisure, the manufacturer of the cutting-edge See Ya diesel pusher motorhome. Thank you for taking the time to watch our video and consider our product. Alfa is an acronym for a loving family affair. We chose this name because RVing is a way of life in my family, and it has been for generations. My grandfather built a motorhome, well, sort of a motorhome, on a Model T. And in 1928, he moved my dad and the rest of his family in a year-long journey from North Dakota to Texas to Seattle and finally to Southern California. During the entire trip, they lived in that motorhome. This adventure must have made a lasting impression on my dad because he went on to found Fleetwood Enterprises, the largest manufacturer of RVs there ever was. Of course, from the age of 4, I went RVing with my parents all the time. And when I completed my formal education in 1973, Dad took the time to teach me how to build RVs for a living, and I've been doing it ever since. During the past 30 years, my wife Linda and I have been lucky to spend at least 45 days a year on the road in an RV. And in some years, we've spent many more days than that. And now our sons are building and using RVs too. When our granddaughter goes on the road with us, she represents the 5th generation of Creans enjoying the RV lifestyle. So that's why Alfa, for the Creans, is a loving family affair. RV designers seem to get confused when trying to come up with anything new. I guess the goal is to be different rather than to build a great RV. But a lot of these trendy so-called innovations are really just a big step backwards. As an example, I'd like to ridicule the sliding bed fad, which is the current rage. By sliding the bed and putting the wardrobe in the back, you get a lot less wardrobe, you get a shorter wardrobe, and you have to take a step or two up just to get to the wardrobe. And you always have to go around the bed to get to the wardrobe. The icing on the cake is that to simply grab a jacket when the slide-out room is in, you have to crawl across the bed to get it. In our See Ya, the bed is right where it ought to be, with a flat floor completely around it. And our wardrobe is right where it needs to be, near the bath dressing area. And you never have to go around the bed to get to it. Oh, and with our design, you get cross-flow ventilation, and that's important. The next rage appears to be triple slides. Having a coach 12 feet wide is great. That's why we have one. But our See Ya is 12 foot wide because this single slide out is 4 foot deep. Some of the other manufacturers are trying to get a 12-foot wide coach by adding a 3rd slide on the patio side. I guess you could get 4 foot of slide by having a pair of opposing 2-foot slides, but the slides ruin the access to the center storage area, and who wants a slide hanging over their patio? So our patio side has deep, long, and wide storage areas, providing you easy access to what you want, when you want it. And with no slide out hanging over it, you get to utilize all the patio space. And that's just one of the reasons our See Ya has a full 4-foot slide out on the roadside. And under it, we put all the stuff you never want to get to when you're camping. Things like the propane tank and other service items you normally want to get to only when the slide out is in. The high ceiling, the deep slide out, the basement air, they're pretty exciting, but don't forget to look at all the other details of our See Ya. They are outstanding, especially when compared to the other motorhomes. We used the same creativity and energy to get the livability right that we did on the design of the coachwork itself. So please take the time to investigate and understand the electronics integration, the outside storage area, the utility area, the galley design, the flip-up dash pod, the whole unit. When you're done comparing our attention to details to the rest of the manufacturers, you'll realize our See Ya is not only the future of coachwork design, but the whole coach is cutting edge, right down to the smart cards. I like to say, you can buy the motorhome of the future today by buying a See Ya. When you're personally involved in RVing and spend a lot of time on the road instead of behind a desk, it doesn't take long to figure out what's cool and what's just silly. That's why at See Ya, we don't have a bunch of floor plans, just the best one. As a result, and really for countless other reasons, I feel confident assuring you that while there are a lot of other motorhomes out there, there is no better motorhome than our See Ya at any price. When we decided to build diesel pushers, I really had no boundaries. As a result, the See Ya is the first and still the only fresh new design for this millennium. And we really have reinvented the motorhome. I had total freedom to pick the best components and then design exactly the RV that I'd want to buy and use. And while I am pretty creative and more than a little proud, I didn't hesitate to borrow our competitors' best solutions and incorporate them into our See Ya as well. As a result, the See Ya has rapidly become the #1 diesel pusher in most of the markets where we have dealers. Its acceptance has been immediate because it is, all at once, a great RV, a great home, a great drive, and a great value. It ought to be because I designed it to use myself.